are you going to crack the cabin crew HR interview? Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for logging in again. Today we are going to talk about HR interview for cabin crew recruitment. So the last video I already told you that I'm going to bring you some questions and answers which are 100% going to be asked in your first round of your HR interview, and I just want to debunk the reason why they ask you such questions and what could be the best possible way of answering them. So let's get started. Just a quick update before we move on. I just like to tell you, because of the pandemic and the coronavirus situation, right now all the airlines, all the major airlines or even airlines in India are adopting online interviews, and this is for the first basic HR round. They like to skip that round completely because they want to, of course, have minimum interaction between candidates and themselves, and that's for obvious reasons. They want to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So it is good. It is a very good opportunity for you to be relaxed in your own house and try to give the interview online. And the online interview can be of two types. Two types of online interview can be a pre-recorded interview or a live interview. Usually the airlines which are asking you for doing an online application, then they send you the pre-recorded interview, which is where they'll try to ask you a few basic questions. One of my friends who applied for Wizz Air, which is an airline in Abu Dhabi, they were hiring until last month, and he applied online and he got a link where they sent him the first round of interview where they asked him 4 to 5 questions, which was a pre-recorded interview. And the other type of interview could be a live interview, where it could be on a later stage where they think, okay, we've kind of shortlisted this person, we want to have another round of interview. So they could have a HR representative taking your interview. So those could be the two kinds of online interviews. Guys, I've told you before, online interviews are as good as a one-on-one interview. So you cannot take it for granted. You have to make sure that you have to be dressed in a formal, you have to do the hairstyle which you would do for an actual interview, you have to do a proper makeup, you need to have a clear background, nothing like what I have right now. I mean, I just came back from a coffee with a friend. Okay, I have a bad habit of digressing. Nevertheless, just make sure that you have a plain background. So if I had all these things on my background, I'll just make sure I'll move them away, have like a clear white background or whatever color your wall is, as long as it's plain. Make sure you wear your proper formals, you have your hair tied, your grooming. For guys, please make sure you shave properly, have trimmed hair, nicely groomed, just to get the feel of the whole interview. Probably even apply some perfume. You would just feel like, you know, you're there for an interview. Have a proper table and a chair. Make sure you have a right device. Could be, I would suggest never do it on the phone, do it on the laptop, because you don't want to skip any of those settings or toolbars which they ask you to click. So make sure your Wi-Fi is a very good network, it's a strong connection. Make sure camera is good. Do a test on your computer how your camera is, because blurred pictures or video getting stuck, it's not a desirable situation to be in. So online interview, pre-recorded interview, in terms of how you should be presentable for it, it's exactly the same as when you actually go for an interview. So I will talk more about the online interview on my next video, because today I want to just focus on what do they ask you on your first HR round in a cabin crew interview. Well, this round usually takes up to 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. The reason for this round is they will have a lot of candidates coming and applying. It could be a walk-in interview, even by application. They will have a lot of candidates and they definitely don't want to hire all of them. This round is basically just to scan through all the people who are there and take the one they really think have potential to go into the next rounds and potentially get selected. So the first and the most essential question they ask you, which they will ask you for your interview, is tell me something about yourself. This is the most basic question they're gonna ask you on the HR interview. So, how and what you're gonna say. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is when you walk in through that door, or when you're sitting and when you click the button of your online interview, you have to have a pleasant smile. Don't smile like you are being creepy, or have big eyes staring back at them. Blink, of course. Be natural in your way of how you're smiling, how your eye contact is, how your body language is. Sit upright, have your hands folded like this on your knee, and sit upright and have a good body posture. That shows confidence. Second thing is you need to know your content. So, well, this is a very basic question. So all you have to do is introduce yourself. What are your skills, where you're from, what's your qualification, any previous experience, and your hobbies, or just a bit of a background. All they really like to see is how do you deliver your answer. So let me tell you something, keep it very simple. Don't have to complicate, don't have to add extra things, don't have to use the words you're not comfortable with. Also, let me give you a small example. Like, look, I'm working with almost 160 different nationalities. There are Chinese, there are African, there are Europeans, like Italians, or places where people do not speak English as a first language, or is not even so prevalent in their countries. Japanese. All they really care when they're hiring those people are how are they able to present themselves. They don't really have excellent English. They have just very basic English. Even after so many years, I would see them, as long as you're able to use the basic English in a confident and a fluent and a presentable way, that's all they really care. So I know there are so many rumors about, oh, you need to have amazing English speaking skills. It's great if you do, but if not, you're still okay as long as you know how to present yourself. So I will tell you a few tips of how to answer this question is by, of course, wishing them by saying good morning, good afternoon. That's usually the time the interview takes place. You would say, my name is so-and-so, I am so-and-so years old, I come from India, or if you're giving an interview in India, you could say, I belong from Mumbai in India, basically your place. And then you can say, I've completed bachelor's in commerce. I would say, I've completed my bachelor's in commerce and I'm pursuing a PhD or diploma or MBA, or you could also say, if you're experienced, you could say that I'm currently working as a sales executive or customer service representative, or whatever you are working at the moment. And then you could say, in my family, it's me, my sister, and my parents, and my hobbies are so and so. But of course, I know everyone gives you these answers, this pattern of you should say this, but they don't tell you how to really say it. So I'm going to try to demonstrate how you could say it in an actual interview. I'm just going to give you a sample. So of course, you're going to be in front of the interviewer. Good afternoon, my name is Smitha and I'm 35 years old. I come from the vibrant city Mumbai from India, and I have completed my bachelor's in commerce. Currently I'm pursuing diploma in marketing. If I have to talk about my family, it's just me, my sister, and my parents. And for my hobbies, I'm passionate about music. I absolutely love sports, so I go for hikes and trekking, and I'm also very keen on experiencing different cuisines and trying them. Thank you. So guys, it's literally that simple. It's a very simple question and you need to answer it the same way. Keep it simple, make it interactive, just show it with your eyes and your smile that you are interacting and you're engaging. That's all they really need to see. They need to see the confidence on your face. You can practice the same steps. Of course, make it your own with your own experience, your own age, which city you're from, or whatever your hobbies are. Practice it in front of the mirror. so you can see yourself. How does your face looks like? How engaging your eyes are, how your smile is. Is it too much or too little, or you look nervous? It's very important just to practice these basic things, and I can guarantee you that's all they're looking for. They're not looking for fancy words. They're not looking for your English skills where you're able to speak big sentences with complicated words. All they really need to see is just a bit of your personality. Where I said I come from a vibrant city in Mumbai in India, that adds to something like that shows them that you are passionate about your city. Or when you're talking about your hobbies, it's close to you, you're passionate about it. They can feel it, they can sense it, and that's all they really need to see. And that's how you should answer, tell me something about yourself. The next question they could ask you is, why do you want to be a cabin crew? I know it sounds very straightforward, because you want it, because you love it, and the money is good and everything else is fine. Okay, you cannot say those things, of course not. And you cannot give them one word, I love it, or I think I love traveling. Yes, of course, everyone loves traveling. It's a glamorous job. That's what it looks like from outside. You'll get to know more when you're gonna get inside it. But anyhow, you cannot show childish excitement over that you like this job, or you love it, or you just want to do it, or you have nothing else to do. So you have to curate your answer where they think that it's something that you really are looking forward for, is something which you're really passionate about. At the same time, they need to see that you understand what it takes to be a cabin crew. So if I have to answer and give you a sample answer for this, I would say I'm a people's person and I love social interactions. So besides the fact that cabin crew gets the opportunity to travel and explore different places, I also know this sense of their job is engaging with people, interacting with people from different backgrounds, exciting cultures, getting to know them, exchanging knowledge. And all these things fascinates me a lot, and yes, that's why I want to be a cabin crew. This answer I gave you was mostly for freshers and people with no experience in as a cabin crew. The people who already been a cabin crew, I'm sure you're not watching my videos because obviously you know what exactly it takes to be a cabin crew. They wouldn't probably even ask you certain questions which they would ask the freshers, because they already know that you guys have been there, you know what it takes, and they will try to skip the basic questions for you. So that's just my suggestion for answering this question. Next, they could ask you something like, why do you want to join their company? What is so special about their company? To answer this question, again, all you have to do is do a bit of a research. I'm so sure when you join an airline, or when you select an airline to give an online application and you know you want to be a part of the airline, you will have to go on their website and check what is the company all about, how many awards they have won in the last few years, who is their CEO, what kind of fleet they have, just a bit of a normal knowledge about their network and recent events. So you have to get that information from their website. So if I have to answer that question and give you a sample answer, I would talk about Etihad. So I would say Etihad is a global airline. It is one of the best international airlines, and I also know it has won many accolades and awards for having the best cabin crew in aviation. It is one of the fastest growing company, and I know I would love to be a part of such a dynamic and progressive company, as I know I would get an opportunity to grow with it personally and professionally. Thank you. It's that simple to answer that question as well. I haven't used any fancy words. I've kept my English very basic and simple. All I have done was my homework about the company, and I have picked up the right points where the company like to hear those things. They understand that you're willing, you're enthusiastic, and at the same time your delivery, how you deliver your words to them, how genuine you sound in your interaction with your eye contact, with how you sit, with how you say things with the confidence, without stuttering and stammering. My best advice to you on every question you don't want to practice, please do it in front of a mirror. It helps a lot. Write it down, write down whatever comes in your mind. Like I've given you sample answers. So you can make it your own with your experience, your qualification, which airline you're applying for, which are the best qualities you want to show. Write it in a piece of paper and just give a structure like how I did. Stand in front of the mirror and practice it. Practice it, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes a man perfect. In this answer, I just showcased my understanding of the question, my knowledge about the company, and my enthusiasm of why I want to join their company. Because it is a big company, it is an international airline, it has won awards, and I'd like to be a part of such a team. And I also said because it is a fastest growing company, or it is a growing company, I would like to grow with it personally and professionally. These all are the points which the company or the HR recruiter would like to hear, because this shows them your confidence in how you answered the question because you understood it and your reasons for joining it. So at the end of the day, what your content is important, but how you say it, how you deliver it, that's the most important thing. The eye contact again, the body language, the way you deliver your words, your sentences, that's really very important. Sorry guys, I had something by the door. I had a parcel, so I had to pick it up. Anyways, moving on, the last question I want to discuss today is, they could ask you, what do you understand by the role of a cabin crew? Or what is a job profile of a cabin crew? They could be different construction of the same question, but the meaning is the same. That what do you understand by what cabin crew does as a job? The reason why they're asking you this question is because most of the people, they think that cabin crew just takes off and lands. I used to think that before I joined aviation, to be very honest, if I have to admit. Or they think it's all about putting makeup and traveling different countries and going to hotels, eating, drinking, partying, having friends, fun. Of course, all of that is there, but I would say it's just 10% of cabin crew's life. It's not all what they do. There is so much more to it. The reason why I'm elaborating so much on this is in my previous company, even in Etihad, there have been so many people who joined who has chosen this career or joined an aviation industry thinking it is a walk in a park, but it is nowhere close to that. It is a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of erratic working hours, erratic sleeping patterns, eating patterns, the fact that you have to go through a rigorous training before you actually join. And when you get on board, there are so many challenges, there are so many different kinds of things you face on board. It's difficult to try to explain everything in this video, but I'm just basically trying to say that they want to know that you are aware of what it could take to be a cabin crew. You have just a basic idea of what a cabin crew job profile is like. What do really cabin crew do, on board? So if I have to answer this question, I would say cabin crew are highly trained and skilled professionals who not only ensures the comfort of their guests, but also ensures their safety along with the safety of their colleagues and the aircraft by possessing the right knowledge about customer experience, service delivery, and of course the safety knowledge. Thank you. Here you demonstrate the interviewer that not only you know that it's not all about customer service and being polite and nice and travel and all that what I said, but it's also about having the right knowledge about the company, about the products they are offering, about the safety aspect, because all these things goes hand in hand, and this all together makes a complete package, what cabin crew is all about. And just to have a variation in your answer, you could add something like, cabin crew's job is about creating memorable experiences for the passengers while being thorough with the safety and security protocols to enhance the goodwill of the company. These are just the variations which you could add. You could use words like guest instead of passenger. Or you could also say something like, they're required to perform the best with a pleasing smile in a challenging situations. Or you could say something like, they also required to have a lot of patience as they have to deal with several challenges which may arise from during a flight, during service or safety. So yeah, you can add some of your words, some of the variations, something which you already have in your mind, what you understand. Just incorporate all the good points, make it concise and precise. Don't keep talking, because of course it's not desirable to have a very long answer. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna train you for everything. All they really need to see in this interview is, how are you communicating? How are you presenting yourself? Do you have the basic knowledge of what it takes to be a part of a big company? That do you care about what the company is all about? And what is a profile of the job which you're applying for? They just need the basics. As long as you show confidence, you say things with fluency and confidently, that's all really matters in an interview. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Those were the few questions I could think of, because this is all they would really ask you for the first HR round. They could ask you more questions because there are so many of them. I could have a list of 50 or 100 or even more questions they could ask you for your final interview, but this is pretty much what they would ask you for your basic HR first round, which lasts for 2 minutes. If there is any question in your mind, if you have any doubt, or if you've come across any different question they've asked in any of the interviews, you can write it down to me, and if you don't know how to answer it properly, I might give you some guidance of how you could possibly answer it in a better way. So that's it from me, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do some cooking now. My flatmate would be arriving any moment. I know this is more a casual setup for educational video, but I just felt like I want to chit chat with you like friends and sit down and probably ask you your questions, your doubts. Please write it in the comments. I will definitely get back to them, all of them. And please, if you find any value in this video, do share it with your friends, do subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified on my next videos. I'm gonna try to make a lot of videos about cabin crew interviews, the process, the questions, the answers you could give, what are the other requirements, how to present yourself. I really have a lot of free time in my hand now because of the lockdown. It's been 6 months that I've been sitting home. Like, I must have done 3 flights, honestly, and I have a lot of free time, and I just thought that I want to help people who wants to be in this industry and wants to be a cabin crew. So please, guys, do give it a like and share and subscribe. Guys, one last thing, I just want to know, what would you like to see? Do you like to see more vlogs? What do I do in a day? My makeup, my hair, my skincare, my health, like my fitness routine? Or would you like more educational videos about cabin crew, recruitment, the interview process, the steps, and grooming, or something like that? Please, please, please do write me your feedback. It really helps me and gives me direction on what could be the next video. Alright then, this is me, Smita, signing off, and until next time, take care.